So Path of Exile 2 has been out for a few days now, and some people are not happy with the difficulty.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I'm dead! Oh my god! Where did he come from, dude? He just jumped from the sky!
Oh my god, I'm so fucking pissed off.
I've seen quite a few replies to the Path of Exile tweets asking for the difficulty to be adjusted for new players or casuals. Some people are struggling just out in the world, some people are struggling from the first tutorial boss.
Man, it's a fucking, I'm rolling it. What is worse? Fuck!
But many people I see, even in global chat in-game, seem to be talking about the final boss of Act 1. I'd be interested to see what people think of the difficulty of the game so far. Let me know in the comments. Personally, myself, I didn't really struggle through Act 1. I did die a few times to some bosses here and there, but also didn't die to bosses like the Executioner, where I've seen a lot of people struggle with that, or be hit by one-shots. But the enemy attacks are really well telegraphed in my opinion. I really felt that I knew when something was coming and when to dodge, even though some attacks do take a bit of learning. But I will say the final boss of Act 1, oh that guy. It was definitely a struggle for me on the Witch. I think different classes are finding different sections of the game more or less difficult. You can clearly see though, this is meant to be a more challenging game. I really hate that everyone has to keep comparing it to Elden Ring or Dark Souls just because you have to dodge mechanics. Like dude, is Breath of the Wild a Souls-like game? But I can see what people were talking about with the final boss of Act 1. Many people, like me, were comfortably moving through the game and then BAM! Boss time. Having progressed further though and now into Act 3, I think the actual difficulty is pretty much where it needs to be. It's a kind of rite of passage, but it is also a literal rite of passage that you need to be able to do if you want to keep going through the game. It's a skill check and a gear check all wrapped into one. There's no point keep letting you progress if you haven't figured out this. After dying about 6 or 7 times to the boss, I went back, adjusted my gear, put on some cold resist, respec some skills into damage, and about 10 tries later, I got him. But actually I went back later on with a friend to do the boss again, and even though I was about level 30, it definitely had put me back down to his level around 14, 15. And it was still kind of a struggle again. He died halfway through, but it was a lot more comfortable. I knew the mechanics, I knew what the boss was going to do next. And so basically overall, I don't think they should really change difficulty at all in the game so far. Not in a skill issue get good kind of thing, and not in a screw you to the casuals either. I wouldn't consider myself like a hardcore player or anything, and I'm really not a fan of the Souls games or Elden Ring, but I have liked the challenge. It does make you focus more on your build, on the gear you've got. I think it encourages you to try different things. There is of course many people screaming at the devs, please do not change the difficulty on this. And I don't think they will. There are some issues that I do kind of agree with. Gearing up in the early game can be a bit confusing at first. I was lucky and got a crazy unique chest that really helped me, survival wise. But I think people didn't really understand how to gear up, and the loot drops are a little bit few and far between for some people. It's also important I think to make sure you get gear that's actually for your class, and maybe that's kind of throwing people off. But we'll save the rest for the full review, which I'll be doing over the next week. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that. I imagine we'll be doing quite a few Path of Exile 2 videos over the next few weeks. Anyway, what do you think? Difficulty too hard, or it's right where it needs to be? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to give the video a little like as well, and I'll see you next time.